Reality check. Dear victim, well, here we are again, or rather, here I am again. I referred to we because I mentioned in my earlier correspondence to you, I do not really distinguish between you and all the others. So, what is about to happen next seems to me as if it has happened with you numerous times before. What is going to happen is something that I have done so many times before with so many other victims. So, one thing to keep at the forefront of your mind is that you are not alone in being subjected to what will come next. It has been amazing so far, hasn't it? I told you I would love you like nobody else ever has, and I delivered. Okay, I was actually loving your praise, love, admiration, and adoration of me. But to you, it felt like I loved you in a way which went beyond anything you had ever experienced before. That certainly kept you happy. You told me every day how happy you were. You told your friends, your family, your colleagues, the man at the hot dog stand. In fact, anybody who would listen. I enjoyed watching you do that. It made me feel good. It made me feel powerful. Here I was, able to make you tell the world about our perfect love. And goodness me, have you loved me perfectly. You told me every day just how much you loved me. You cared for me, looked after me, and helped me in so many ways. From letting me use your car when I crashed mine, to scratching my back as I lay in bed at night ready to sleep. Of course, it was not all one way. I gave you everything I could. I only did it, though, to get your fuel. I give to receive. I do not know any other way. You sometimes told me about your love for me being without condition. I didn't understand what you meant. No, that is wrong. I understood what you meant, but I struggled to imagine doing this. I love you with so many conditions, the chief one being that I only actually love you for the fuel that you give me, not for who you are. It will take you a long time to understand this, and even longer to accept that this is the case. This is why I'm writing this letter, so that you can keep reading and rereading in order to allow it to all sink in. After all, nobody else is going to be able to tell you how it really is, will they? Anyway, it has been brilliant so far. Ordinarily, I would claim that this is all down to me. After all, am I not brilliant? It is a fact. However, you played your part. In fact, you did more than just play your part. You gave me absolutely everything. Your heart, your soul, and you poured every essence of your being into the concept of you and I. I know you did this because I could see you doing it. I had to, because I needed that in order to sustain me. The more you gave, the more brilliant I became, so you gave even more in return. It was an upward spiral. Two people working in magnificent harmony. You, because you believed in us. Me, because I needed your fuel. Not that you ever realized this. Why would you? I became the perfect partner, complimenting you, praising you, and loving you in that oh so special way. It was intense. It was scintillating, and I made sure I became everything that you would want from a relationship. It was a great deal for us both. I made you feel ultra special. You gave me the ultra fuel that I need. Does it matter that what I provided to you was based on something else? I would say not. You still got what you wanted, didn't you? I should imagine you would argue that it did matter, because you truly believe that I loved you for who you are, and that should be the case. I can understand why you would think that way. You're big on this love thing, aren't you? That is why I picked you, of course. That and many other reasons as well. But that played a big part. I wonder, though, if nothing altered, if I kept treating you the same way forever as I have done so far, even though it is predicated on a completely different basis than the one you think it is, would that trouble you? You wouldn't know, of course. All you would know is that I continue to give you the apparent love you crave in the manner that you have come to expect, and in a fashion that makes you feel so special. I don't suppose you would be particularly upset if that remained the case, would you? The thing is, though, that isn't going to happen. Yes, you read that correctly. What has happened so far, marvellous as it is now effectively at an end. Oh, you will be allowed some glimpses of the person you thought I was from time to time in order to keep you with me. But to all intents and purposes, this golden period of unparalleled love has come to an end. You won't realise this because, first of all, you just cannot accept that something so wonderful could end in this manner. Second of all, you will not realise because of what I'm going to do. I'm going to confuse you, bewilder you, and befuddle you. I am going to make everything hazy, amorphous, nebulous, blurred, and indistinct, so you are not going to understand what is going on. Why am I going to do this? Well, something has changed. I would usually explain if I ever felt that an explanation should be given, and I operate from the stance that I owe you no explanations because I am unaccountable. That as usual, it is your fault. You have let me down. I do believe that to be the case. I wish it was not. I wish this wonderful period could have continued for the rest of our days together, but it can't. What once invigorated me and made me feel powerful just does not do so in the same way anymore. Don't think you are alone in this happening. You are not. All the others let me down as well. It is as if you are not trying any longer. It is as if you have become bored with my brilliance and you see no reason to admire me and adore me in the way that you once did. That wounds me. Your actions, or perhaps more accurately, your lack of actions, makes me feel less than what I am. It makes me feel weak. It makes me feel worthless, and this infuriates me. I know that others have said to me in the past that nothing has changed in the way that they feel about me, that they love me just as much as they always have done. Yet even though they tell me this, it does not feel like that anymore to me. The power I felt when you showed me that love and admiration is either no longer there, or not as strong. I cannot help it. That is the way I feel. Since I have not changed in the way that I regard you, I can only reach the conclusion that this alteration in how I feel has been brought about as a consequence of you. Something in the way you act towards me has altered. You perhaps are not giving enough of yourself to me. You are not manifesting the love, the admiration, the adoration, the way that powers me. It might be that sometimes it feels stale to me. That has happened. Perhaps it is because you have become too familiar to me, and therefore I do not derive the same reaction that I once did to the way you have behaved. I know that this has been suggested to me, but I do not know if it is right. For so long you behaved the same way towards me, loving me in that wonderful way, and it did not feel stale or jaded. I think more likely it is because you have begun to treat me differently. You are not performing at the level that I require. Therefore, to me, this means you no longer regard me in the same light, and this offends me. I feel criticized by this behavior of yours, and therefore I have to protect myself. You see, I do not like criticism. In fact, I hate it, and therefore I need to act promptly to defend myself against this criticism. That is why I have to do what comes next. I had hoped this would not happen. I had hoped that you would be the one, so this could be avoided. I had hoped you would not let me down, that I had made the right choices and decisions so that our golden reign would continue forever. I guess I got it wrong. Although it is not something I would ever openly admit. I do not want to be seen as wrong, because that suggests weakness, and that is the last thing I want you to think that I am. So, here I am again, about to protect myself from your implied criticism. Anybody else would say sorry for what is about to happen, but as you will soon find out, I do not do apologies. I am sorry for myself that it has come to this, of course. I am full of self-pity when the need arises. So, that is the end of the golden period that we had. I must do what I have done so many times before, and bring the hurt. I will stop writing now, as I have some planning to do, but I will write again. You might want to put your tin hat on and buckle up. This is where it turns nasty. Yours, in disappointed fury, Narcissist.